So just minutes before we are recording this at the moment, we found out the news broke that Ozzy Osbourne has passed away, and there are scant details available about the cause of death. Am I correct about that?
Yes.
I don't think that we've learned anything, and they're asking for people to respect their privacy, so it's unclear, but yeah, at the age of 76, right?
So the statement says, it is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. The family continues, he was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family's privacy at this time. It was obtained by the Sun and signed by Sharon Osbourne, Jack Kelly, Amy, and Lewis.
It's crazy timing, though, because just during our live stream yesterday, right in the middle of it, is when we found out about
Malcolm Jamal Warner
dying, and like we didn't even know about that prior to the show.
No, and I saw. So here's what's interesting is like you don't really realize how much of an impact a celebrity, especially one from a prior generation. Maybe the thing I find most interesting about modern day internet culture is like every celebrity is like a pocket celebrity with their own group of people, whereas like the celebrities of old, the ones who came in the form of like terrestrial media and, you know, backed by these large companies, their reach is so much more expansive. So the second that I saw the passing of Ozzy Osbourne, you go to either X or Instagram, and it's full of stories from people posting rest in peace, or even pages that cover genres specific, like the page like 90s kid life or like nostalgia channels have all already put up their RIP, just as they did yesterday for Malcolm Jamal Warner, because he was one of the characters on the Cosby Show. So he hits a whole different market because he was part of that mainstream push for celebrity. But you know, when the age of the old-fashioned celebrity dies off, you're not going to see that in the same way. Like there's going to be a pocket of people who are like, rest in peace, James Charles, and then nobody else will care. Even if he's reached millions of people, it won't be the same thing.
I mean, I guess in the absolute numbers, you could say that an influencer has the same impact, but not in terms of how much people care.
Correct.
Like you can get as many clicks and you can get people scrolling past your content, but it doesn't mean that people are actually emotionally invested in what you're doing and who you are.
Like, I think I saw Tomb Ad on my feed more times than Ozzy Osbourne, but it wasn't really that big of, not to be mean, but it wasn't that big of a deal when he died. Ozzy Osbourne, it's like, you know, I see a lot of people my age that are like freaking out.
And that's on the younger side, as opposed to people who actually grew up with his music.
So clicks doesn't translate to like impact anymore.
Even me, who wasn't necessarily, I mean, you know, like wasn't necessarily my generation music-wise, probably more my brother. But like the skate videos when I was growing up were all made by people that were older than me. So there was a lot of Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne music that would show up in those videos. So you were exposed to it at a younger age. And then he had the whole resurgence later with the Osbournes. So I was just, between Malcolm Jamal Warner, I was just thinking about it, that like the amount of, first of all, there was a list. Maybe I'll put it here. I'll put it in the chat right now if anybody wants to peruse it. But depending on what you perceive to be a celebrity, a lot of these names probably won't resonate with you. But it just an insane amount of people have died this year. And these are just the ones that I remembered. So Jim Shooter, who was the old executive editor in charge over at Marvel, so you might not know that one, but he was a very important person over at Marvel. Malcolm Jamal Warner, as we just discussed. George Foreman, Michael Madsen, Michelle Trachtenberg, Wings Hauser. That's probably just me. Wings Hauser is a great actor, but I just love him because his name's Wings Hauser, and it's a fantastic name. Gene Hackman.
Yes. That story was one we covered multiple times.
Irv Gotti. He ran the record company that Ja Rule was on, Murder Inc., back in the day, if you remember. David Lynch died this year.
That wasn't even that long ago.
Mark Snow was just a couple weeks ago. He created the theme to the X-Files and about like a lot of really, in fact, he did Blue Bloods, which just got canceled last year, is getting a reboot this year. He can't do the theme for that show because he passed away. Phil Robertson, that's the Duck Dynasty guy.
He's a Patriot.
Right? Pope Francis.
True.
Nicky Katt, actor, you might not know him. Val Kilmer.
Wow.
That's all. We're only 6 months into the year.
There's people that are dying that haven't died before.
But isn't that normal? Are we just paying more attention to it?
It's probably
people
true.
die all the time.
I remember. I don't remember if it was I think it was 2018 was one of those years where it's like people were making all these videos like, holy crap, all these people that died this year, and then nobody did it after
It's
that.
obviously more notable when it's like an overdose or some sort of foul play involved if someone dies
Jonathan
young.
Joss was a story because he was the King of the Hill guy who passed away
True.
after.
And is he on the list that you found?
He's on this list. I didn't put him on there because I was trying to stick to either actors that I was really familiar with or people that everybody would know. But there's all sorts of names on this list. I'll just put it up on screen here. Like just look at this. I'm going to bring it to the top and look how long it takes to scroll through this whole list.
That's crazy.
Like, you may not have heard of all of these people, but my goodness, that's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
The alligator from Happy Gilmore died.
They included him on the list.
Yeah, included him on the list.
Okay.
Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
The amount of people.
Oh, Brian Wilson. Do they have Brian Wilson on there?
It's probably on
Beach
there.
Boys.
Yeah.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, that's an insane list of people, and that's
It's
just
still going.
It's still going. and I'm scrolling the fast way.
But I think it might just be getting more coverage because it's the fact that, as you said, these legacy stars from, a bygone era are dying off, and they're not getting replaced with anyone who has the same level of cultural impact.
There never
and
will
we're so
be.
fragmented now because of the internet that we're not going to see that again.
You're never going to see that level of connection. It's so funny because it's kind of the argument that I use a lot of times when people talk about society being more cohesive back in the day. I'm like, well, yeah, like everybody watched the same 4 news networks and didn't really question everything, and everybody had access to the exact same information. Now everybody has access to the exact same information, just way more of it. And you find yourself in your own little pocket corner of the internet until you're talking to somebody who's telling you that you can like shift into another creature on TikTok. And where does that leave you? It certainly doesn't leave you with any idols or anybody to like who is a musician that people would clarify as like a modern day musician that would be this relevant.
I mean,
that might actually be the only thing, like musicians might be the only genre of celebrity where it does, where like if a Justin Bieber or a Nicki Minaj or a
Morgan Wallen
Wallen died, that would be a pretty big deal, but not like Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, it would remain to be seen if the same impact is happening when they die decades from now. Is the internet going to be...
Liam Payne was 2024. Thank you, George Wendt.
Oh, correct.
George Wendt from Cheers. But
Hans Zimmerman, someone
Liam
said?
Payne was last year, and Matthew Perry was 2023.
Right.
So there have been just an insane amount
for
of
Gen
these
Z,
things.
it was a really big deal when Lil Peep died, and it was a really big deal when Juice WRLD died.
And when XXX
that was
died.
not even a year apart when those 2 deaths occurred.
XXX Tentacion was like a huge deal.
And that was in
2018, I think.
Yeah, that was in 2018 as well.
Jeez.
So those were really impactful for Gen
It was
Z.
back to back to back.
And the thing is like literally just the other day, or when we were at, we were all hanging out on Saturday at dinner, and Olivia mentioned me always saying like the morbid fact when we're watching some show. I'm like, oh, that actor died like 3 years ago. And then literally I was like, I don't do that much. And then like that night, Michael Madsen and Tom Sizemore ended up on separate things we were watching. I'm like, yeah, he died like 2 years ago.
Yeah, you
like,
did
and,
the
like,
thing.
Michael Madsen died just like the other day.
I made a distasteful joke on X.
Yes.
After I heard the news of Ozzy Osbourne's passing, because Trisha Paytas has just welcomed her 3rd child, a son, and she has named him Aquaman. I'm not kidding, that's his name. And there's this running joke that every time Trisha Paytas has a baby, this is actually the reincarnation of...
Who was it for the last one?
Her daughter was supposedly the reincarnation of Queen Elizabeth.
Oh.
I don't know about the 2nd child, though.
Welcome back, Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, so welcome back, Ozzy Osbourne. You get to live your next life as Aquaman Paytas.
Here's a sign of how important you are. This person says, this post is how I found out about Ozzy dying. Like, that's just how it is. I just, I do think, we don't cover celebrity. Like, I used to be more interested in the idea of covering these types of stories, but it's always kind of a bummer to start the show on something like this, but it's extremely relevant with especially older celebrities who are just going to be part of a bygone era where you're not going to see that much cultural relevance around a consolidated group of people anymore.
And who they're getting replaced with now is like Doechii and like Benson Boone. I'm sorry, nobody is going to care about them in 5 years, let alone 50.
Yeah. And it's also worth pointing out that just before he passed, Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath had their final show. It was dubbed as his final concert, and it's the highest grossing charity concert of all time.
Damn.
It was run by Tom Morello, but we won't hold this against them. 140 million British pounds it raised. 190 million.
I wonder if
US.
they're going to refund the tickets now.
No, it already happened.
Oh, I thought you meant that it was 2 weeks away.
No,
2 weeks ago.
No,
Okay.
like this happened a couple weeks ago. July 5th, the show raised that much money. So you know what? Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne, and it is sad, and it's sad, I think, especially because this level of cultural relevance is going to disappear as everybody kind of goes into their own corner of the internet.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.